Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant for the month of June. I hope you're well. We're using the Llewellyn Tarot for you today. Do I have anything to tell you? I don't really, except that in the pre-meditation that I did before I started the video rolling, the energy that went to my third eye was so overwhelming that it actually felt like it was trying to crawl off my fucking forehead, which is interesting. So it feels like there's something big going on with you this month. But let's have a look at it. If the reading resonates with you, there will be an extended at the end. So I have 3 cards for Pisces. So we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse for your recent past. The current energy for Pisces, please. We have the Nine of Wands. The Strength card flipped in there as well. I'm going to put it back in because it didn't jump, but it's interesting that it came out. And what's coming towards Pisces for June, please? Ooh. We have the Devil, which is interesting. We have the Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck here, followed by the Six of Wands. This is shaping up to be a very intriguing reading, Pisces, already. Right, have the Ten of Pentacles, please. Thank you. We have the Ace of Swords. And we have the Tower. Yeah, I thought it was going that way. Tell me about the Nine of Wands. Ooh. We have the Eight of Cups. And we have the Two of Cups. Tell me about the Devil, please. We have the King of Pentacles. And we have the Star. We have the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck with the Two of Wands. This is a breaking away reading, Pisces. That feels extremely strong with all of the cards that are here. So we start off with the Ten of Pentacles, and it's come out in the reverse. Now this is quite interesting because this way around, you know, this talks about commitment, it talks about family, sometimes it can talk about business, you know. It talks about structure, principally, in whatever way that applies to you, you know, whether it is your family or your business or your home sometimes too. Ten Pentacles takes a long time to accrue. And with this being the way that it is, it feels to me a lot like you have realized that you need to pull away from whatever the structure is around you. Now this absolutely correlates with the readings that I've been doing for you recently, which has seen you trying to kind of peel off from what has been established. You know, it might not even be something like, you know, family or business or whatever like that. It might literally be your home. There is a move here, there is a pulling apart of something, or you from something. Could just be a situation altogether. But it's clarified, like I said, by the Ace of Swords and the Tower. The Ace of Swords is the truth of the matter. It is that epiphany that comes where you truly understand something and you know what it is that you have to do. And the Tower card, it's a card of massive destabilization. I love this card because it's actually that way around, right? But when the Tower energy hits, it can be like this. Now, what I'm not sure about is whether the Tower is how you are feeling or how it is, you know, what you are bringing to this, to your life, to your environment here. Because if the Ten of Pentacles talks about commitment, and sometimes it talks about heritage and legacy and those sorts of things as well, to see it coming out in the reverse here feels like you turning your back on it, right? Or we've established that this is something that you've been trying to do for a little while. This Tower. Six of Wands. It feels like it's you bringing Six of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, like there's a renewal here, and the Tower energy is yours. It feels like we've got this Hierophant card at the bottom of both of these decks here. That also talking about the established, that has been around for a long time, that which has been around for a long time, you know, the structure of your life, those permanent institutions, whatever way that applies, you know, whether that is, you know, marriage or the family or business or your home or even schooling and things like that. You know, we see all of these things implied by the Ten of Pentacles. But with this Ace of Swords and this Ace of Wands, you feel like determination is what I feel, actually, more than anything else. You know, there's a resoluteness about your energy here. You know what you have to do, and you're quite prepared to do it. Well, you have done it, it looks like. In pursuit of the new. Okay, so we've been talking about this for a long time, Pisces, so it's not going to come as a surprise to anyone that this is what's happening, except maybe those people around you who have tried so very hard to keep you where you have always been. Now, when we move on to the Nine of Wands, things get quite interesting because, excuse me, we are dealing possibly, well, actually, the two things mesh in together really, really well. So we could see this as boundaries, or we could see this as you standing up for yourself, you know, you defending yourself, fighting for yourself, really standing true in what it is that you've decided about where you want to go and what you want to do, and more importantly, who you want to do it with or not to do it with. But it's kind of all one and the same, you know, there's that resolute behaviour, there's that determination that I feel, and it's clarified, like I said, by the Eight of Cups and Two of Cups there. The Eight of Cups is walking away. You are walking away from a situation now. One that you previously have invested a great deal of emotional energy into, but it's not fulfilling you, it's not giving you what you need, and you are now off in pursuit of your ninth cup. It feels like, rather than being theoretical now, that there are moves in place, like things are actually actively happening in the 3D. Like this separation is now well underway. Tell me about the Eight of Cups, please. But yeah, we've got the Knight of Pentacles there, you know, so that's just practical aspect. It's Virgo energy, and it talks about, you know, slow progression, slow movements, but it is Pentacles, so it is a material movement of some description. This isn't you running away. It's far too well planned for this. The importance of the Eight of Cups here, sorry, is that there is no residual emotional issue. No. I don't get a sense of you second guessing your decision. I don't see any indication of you feeling any guilt about it either, you know. How about this? Yeah, we've got the Ace of Cups and we've got the Devil here. Now the Devil's relatively toxic energy, but it's interesting that it's come up here twice for you, because it actually feels quite positive. Now, that I almost always get the combination of the High Priestess and the Devil coming out when I'm dealing with artists, because what they're doing is they're pulling down that information, channeling it almost, if you will, with the High Priestess energy there, and then the Devil is all about making those things solid so that they can be perceived by other people. You know, the entire material realm is the purview of the Devil. And mostly we interpret that as a bad thing, but, you know, there is no card in the tarot that is purely bad, you know, just negative and awful. There are flip sides to everyone, and even the most positive cards can have a, you know, negative connotation. And it's interesting because the High Priestess is a Piscean card anyway, that the Devil feels a little bit different in this reading to how it would feel if it turned up in anybody else's, and particularly when it's coming up with the Ace of Cups here, because it does feel like this is the third ace now that's appeared for you, Pisces. The new is coming all over. You know, the devil in this, to explain myself properly, the devil here for me almost feels like it's replacing the Ace of Pentacles. It is that desire to make your life different, you know, take those practical steps to make material that which you are bringing through, that which you are channeling through, which is the need to separate, the need to move away. Tell me about this Two of Cups, please. Thank you. We've got the Five of Cups and the Eight of Wands, and again, I don't feel like that is you either. I feel like this is people that are being left behind by you. But I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Like it feels like it's coming from a very selfish place. You know, these restrictions that other people are trying to put on you. I'm not even sure that they realise that they're doing it, but it does feel like it's quite selfish. And certainly, as the momentum is building towards your new start, it's almost like you're leaving, you know, possibly one person, but more likely a swathe of people who think you're making the wrong decision here. Like I said, that I don't think most of them realise that they're being incredibly selfish, but they are. You know, there's an attempt of restriction of you here, and I think they've underestimated just how determined you are to make this happen, just how guided you feel towards making this happen. So in June, we have the Devil again. And like I said, this feels like you taking practical steps to bring this new start to fruition, right? Make it material, make it so that it can be perceived by other people. It may not yet quite be fully realised, because we do have the King of Pentacles there. And he is the King of delayed gratification. It's more like planting the seeds for what comes next. But now that you're on this road, now that there are practical things being put in place, I don't see you turning back from this. I see you actually resolutely facing forwards to the future. This is something that you have to do. And I don't know quite why it is that the people around you don't see it for what it is, and they don't see what their behaviour is either. Tell me about this King of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, yeah. Queen of Swords and the Sun, clarifying the King of Pentacles here. Like, no, you're so determined now. You've done your homework on this. You've done the groundwork on this. You are listening to the pull. You know, you're listening to what is trying to pull you out into the sunshine, where you can feel that joy, where you can feel that peace. And you've no interest in staying somewhere that frankly restricts you, you know, and has done for a very long time. Tell me about the Star, please. We have the Ten of Swords. And the Nine of Cups. Yeah, like, oh, there's your Ace of Pentacles right at the bottom of the deck. Like, Pisces. It's so gloriously understated, this reading, and yet it's so incredibly powerful at the same time. And I feel like it's understated because it's not like you to, you know, go hammer and tongs at anything at all, right? That's just not your way. But by the same token, this, you know, that energy that I felt right at the beginning of the reading, you've stopped, you've reflected, you've paid attention to what other people have had to say, but then you've employed this Queen of Swords energy to the situation and seen it for what it is. And the word deceptive's kind of coming around my head a little bit in terms of how other people are reacting to you at this time, right? And it's self-deceptive, right? They're not, I don't think, going out of their way to be awful about this, but they really don't understand what's going on. The thing is, you've passed all of this information now. You've processed it. You've looked at it from lots of different angles, and this inner resolution, this inner resolve rather, is not wavering. It wobbled a little bit, but it's almost like the more significant the attempts of people to stop you from doing this, the more they are adding to it. Because they're showing their hands. And there's probably a little bit of difficulty around this, you know, for you. Not a great deal. I'm not feeling it really, really strongly, but just a little bit of weary. It's not resentment. It doesn't feel like resentment, but there's a slight irksome feeling to this, in so much as I have given so much to you throughout the years, and I've done it without complaint, and I've done it without, you know, any need of anything in return. I've just done it because that's what I am, and this is what I do, and this one thing I want for me. And now suddenly everybody's like, no, you can't have that. Like I said, it's kind of low-lying, and it feels like you're kind of channeling it more into determination than anything else. Like, I will make this happen. I've said many times, like, it pisses me off how how the received wisdom of Pisces is that you're all a bit wishy-washy and all that kind of thing. They've got absolutely no fucking idea what they're dealing with at all when it comes to Piscean energy. No. Now, you've got every single ace on the table here, and you have this almost crystallization of intent that is happening, right? It is now happening in the material. It feels very strong. And there is, I wouldn't say a comfort exactly, but it's something kind of approaching that, in the fact that something needs to end in order for your new start to begin, right? And I think in the month of June, we're going to see that full, what's the word, completion occur. In order that you can go off and find this 9th cup, or this set of 9 cups, actually. You know, when we see this 8 of cups here, they're stacked so as to show you that there is one missing, right? It's quite clear that it's not evenly stacked. You're walking away from this and walking to this, but it has to go via the 10 of Swords, and that's something that you're quite comfortable with now. I'm not sure comfortable is the right word, but, you know, accept that this is the case. And in a quiet and understated way, you are feeling actually pretty unstoppable here, Pisces. And whilst these last, I would say maybe a month, 6 weeks, maybe 2 months, have been quite trying emotionally for you, it's like you sailed through this lesson. You were supposed to struggle with it. It was supposed to be difficult. It was supposed to be something that tested you. And I don't like the notion of pass and fail, but it's probably quite on point here. You have passed with flying colours because you know what you want and you're going after what you want now. Like, you've wobbled, but you wobbled in the right way, in so much as you stopped and considered, you know, whether what other people had to say was valid for your situation anyway. And then having, you know, applied the right kind of thinking to it. I've just been like, no, actually, what I want is my sunshine. You know, there's that Leo card there. What I want is my happiness. What I want is my contentment. And some things are going to have to end, and you know what? That's okay. That's okay. That's the way of the world. That's the way these things work. And frankly, this swathe of people that are in your that are trailing behind you, sort of trying to keep hold of you, it's time for them to start taking a journey of their own. You know, it feels a little bit like a catalyzing event for growth in those people too, you know. Right, I'm going to go over to Vimeo now and start pulling this apart a little bit and see what I can make of it. Let's get something a bit more solid nailed down for June. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the description box. If not, no shade, not a problem. I will see you next time. But in the meantime, know that I love you all very, very much, and I will see you soon.